Welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me yet again is the special one, Jason Juggling J. Ford. Call him the special one. Throughout the show, he gets these special ideas. And
okay.
Yes,
that
special.
That sounds good. That
sounds
good.
Well, today, Jay, we have the Under-17 Women's World Cup team getting ready to jet off on Monday for their final two matches of the group stages that was canceled in Nicaragua. We have a look at the weekend cricket coming up. Mm-hmm. Also got a chance to speak with Braxton Stokes.
Junior. They get that right.
Yes. St. Louis baseball. And of course we have our men's Davis Cup team taking part in the Americas region in Costa Rica. Got a chance to speak with Gavin Manders and David Thomas. Unfortunately, they've lost 3 games, but bit of a mixed emotion for them with Trey Mallory winning his first ever Davis Cup match. So a lot to talk about today, but we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to...
Well, Jay, on Monday, the Under-17 Women's National Team will head off to Fort Lauderdale to play their final 2 matches. They play USA on the 6th and then Costa Rica on the 8th. And hopefully, if all goes well, they'll have another match on the 10th, which will be a decider whether or not they actually go to the Under-17 World Cup. But just to get to the stage, I know it's been quite an achievement for these young ladies, and we're going to wish them all the best come next week.
Yeah, but most definitely, we're definitely behind our ladies here. Obviously, with the interruption of this tournament, we had talked about it before. It could probably go either way for us, whereas it could have helped us. We could get some of those jitters out of the way, per se, after the first game, whatever the first, during the first.
Yeah.
But not only that, now a little bit more time for preparation. And I think more preparation doesn't hurt.
Not at all. Not at all.
Especially when you're getting footage and you're getting more information from your opponents. And now these girls are just they're going to a familiar place also. It's not like you're going to a different country.
Right.
They're going to Florida.
Yes.
So we always talked about going to a different country where you got to deal with the culture, the language barrier, the food, and all these type of things. They're going on to, I believe, the IMG Academy.
Yep.
So all these things they'll be very, very familiar with.
And they've spent time at that campus as well. So
exactly. So
you're right. They will know where to go, when to go, how to get there, and so forth. They had a bit of an awakening the other night in training as the session was taken by none other than Andrew Bascom.
Yes.
Andrew could be quite vocal at times when he wants to get his message across. And I think the girls saw a different side of him. Just to give him a wake-up call to say, listen, it's switch on time now. No, don't wait till next week. It's switch on time now. So as you said, the chance to get that actual preparation can't hurt.
Quite interesting, and we never really talk about it that much when it comes to soccer or football. But the weather in Florida over the last month or so, it's been a lot of rain.
Yeah, and they just had that so-called hurricane go through.
Alberto.
Yeah, so they'll have remnants of.
I spoke with a guy down in Miami as of last night, and we was joking because last week when I was in Atlanta, I was telling you, it rained every day.
Yes.
Says, well, where do you think it came from? So he had been on a trip. He said it rained basically for 11 straight days.
Wow.
Now, that's not to say it was continuous rain, but every day it was raining. Yeah. So we think about humidity here. as far as playing and what in fact we saw the last tournament here.
Yes, yeah.
Up at the National Sports Center, humidity, how it affected the foreign teams.
Yep.
Well, just think, folks, down in Florida, when you have temperatures close to 90 degrees or 85 or so, and then you have a rainstorm.
Yeah.
What do you think humidity is going to be after that?
Yeah.
So it becomes quite high around the time. And once again, I think with our coming from Bermuda, I won't say we're more adaptable to those conditions. But once again, our coaching staff will have to make sure that these young ladies are being well hydrated.
Yeah, the first match against USA on the 6th is at 6 p.m.
Right, which is still
because
hot.
Generally around 5 o'clock, Miami usually, or Florida area, usually have that thunder storm.
Anywhere from about 2 to 5.
Yeah.
2 to 5.
They go through it. It's for them, it's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing.
Yeah.
You don't realize until you're there every day. Okay, seriously?
Again. Yeah. So, they'll have to deal with that. Hopefully it's before they play. Hopefully it's before they even warm up to play. But then on the 8th, the Friday, they play at 3:45. So, years ago, I went to Florida to watch the national team play, and it started out a beautiful afternoon, and then just before kickoff,
you can see it rolling.
I said, "What's going on?" Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
You can see it rolling. You can see it rolling. So that's something that will probably be in the back of the minds of the coaches, because you're going to understand, you're going to prepare the girls to say, "Hey, we might have to be playing in rain."
In rain, yeah. And until it gets to that point where they deem it unplayable, then you go inside.
Exactly.
But you're going to have to be prepared for all things.
Yeah,
not just your opponents, because actually your opponent's going to have to play in the same conditions.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Well, Jay, this weekend we'll see First Division cricket played on Saturday.
And Sunday.
And Premier Division cricket played on Sunday.
We'll pull up the schedule. But
unless it's changed. Because the schedule that the Bermuda Cricket Board have on their website shows First Division cricket on Saturday and Premier Division cricket on Sunday.
I could have skipped a bit ahead. But, it's a good thing that some of these teams are only going to play once this weekend.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that last week.
Right. But Saturday, as you said, it's a hard day.
It's a hard day.
It's a hard day. When you talk about Willocots are playing Devonshire Rack, Warwick are playing Cleveland, and Flex are playing Somerset Bridge, is that fair enough for these teams? Because regardless if you're in the Premier or the First Division, you face the same problems with them.
Yeah.
But primarily games are played on Sundays. Now, it could be due to a shortage of umpires. I don't know. We could possibly ask the cricket board, what's the thought behind having, if that's the case, play one of the Premier games and one of the First Division games on Saturday, and then play the other 4 on Sunday.
Yeah, I just keep.
I think it's a disadvantage to the First Division teams.
I just keep going back to the thing. I think it's just more consultation needs to be had.
Yeah.
Because, and it's not too late to. Sometimes we feel like, okay, the schedule's out.
We can't change it.
No, we make amendments all the time. The other time.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we got the best product at each field, not just one field, at each field. Because if we're trying to bring fans, paying fans, the product's got to be good enough where you got paying fans.
Yeah, and they want more.
And they say that because we talk about our club struggling.
Yes.
Okay. The club still got to provide a groundsman, maybe security,
lunch,
and all these things. Yeah. And basically, what's the revenue coming in?
Zero. Especially if you don't have a bar.
Right. So the gate receipts helps offset those costs. And if you do not have a product that
warrants a gate,
an entry fee, then these clubs are working in
a deficit right from the start. Even before the game starts.
And just realistically, just the payment of the balls.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Payment of the balls, payment of the umpires.
Yeah. Well,
you got to put in. That's where your money. And
a club would spend, if they run the field for one game, they probably play, depending on what they pay the ground. If they pay the groundsman, say $400 for the day. the bowls are what, $50 odd dollars? Higher? Okay.
Close to 100.
Okay, so 100. You need two bowls.
They have to say
yeah, you need two bowls. So before you even start, you're $700-800 in the red.
Easy.
Because you still got to provide lunch.
Easy.
Imagine if you rent the field.
Easy. Right. That's easy. So this is where it becomes. When I go back to it, all comes back down to the product. If the product is great, the enthusiasm is there, and
you could start seeing some return.
You start seeing some return.
Yeah.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the matches, the Premier Division matches on Sunday.
Say the one good one. So you want to talk about the other two first?
Okay, well, okay. Bay and Somerset?
Both young teams.
Yes.
Somerset probably is going to take still another week or so, another 2 weeks or so for some of these young stuff to come back. So maybe, I want to say, close to Father's Day. Bay, what's surprising me, and I don't know if you've looked at it so far, but our national captain has not got off to a good start.
Oh, he's batting out of position.
At all.
Why is he batting number 3?
I don't have a clue, Earl. I'm not down in Bailey's Bay, but he's having hard to find a run.
But if you're struggling, go back to what you know you got to open.
So
I look at it every week and I'm saying, why is he batting?
When you look at some of these top names, and we're talking about Terrence Fraser for Bailey's Bay, but when you look at some of these top names and we're seeing them struggle, and like you said, playing out of position. So it's a game that Bay should have been easily
on paper.
But
the Bay they've been playing, their luck has been on the other side of them this year.
And one thing you can say about Somerset, and I actually did when I even watched these two play in the Open, right? Somerset has some game changers.
Yeah. Jordan can get good.
If
Greg Mabry can get good. If Justin Corday is back and he can get good. Listen, you're right. It could all change right away.
They have some game changers. They
might
not have a whole squad as compared to Bailey's Bay.
Right.
But as you see, Irvin Romain had to play and actually played pretty good last week. So
I think in any team, especially for Bailey's Bay, the person that's been the most steadiest has been Derek Burling. But they've been letting themselves down in the batting department.
And Derek made runs last week and saved them.
Yeah. So, if they could just put together a complete game, I think that would tell the difference for them.
When you look at Derek, Kyle, Zico, Rodney, the youngster, Trot.
Yes, Kieran.
I mean, it should be easy pickings. It should be easy pickings.
Yeah.
But, as cricket we all know, it takes one ball to get you out.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting. It's a interesting matchup, but it should be a walk in the park.
A contrast of a tale of 2 years. Last year, Bailey's Bay, they got off to a bad start in the league, right?
But they
came around.
They were touted to probably win. Going into the season, they was probably
with what they had.
They was touted to win it all.
And they won the one trophy that they wanted to win.
Eastern County.
Who they gonna bring in?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Right now, the rot has set in. And 2 games could change it.
I don't know about rot.
What is it? What would you call it?
Well, like I said, there's been a couple of games in.
Yeah.
In the 50-over format.
Well, remember, did they win many in the Open? They struggled there too,
But like I said, they've got Yeah, who's coming in? And
Yeah.
we ain't looking at it. The youngster Jordan Smith, I know he's back, but I think he's carrying an injury, so
Right.
he'll probably help out in the bowling department. Once again, he still got problems in the batting department.
Yeah, and that's where
So-
they continue to struggle. And again, skipper, you're gonna have to go to your position.
Yeah, well, because even and then you start even thinking the loss of Trey Manders.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, my he didn't make any runs last week.
Yeah, well, one ball.
Don't take much. Like I said, don't take much to get
No, just one
So
ball.
it's gonna be interesting because you still got to, and I call him a veteran. A veteran like Courage Storm. He's reliable. They're versatile. We can go up the order, down the order.
I honestly believe Irvin realizes he's gonna have to play a little more now. If he's gonna help solidify what the intentions are for Bay and is to bring along the youngsters, you're gonna have to play.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to do is leave them out there by themselves.
Well, and just think about it now. You just didn't lose Trey at the top of the order either, you know.
You know, it's Malachi.
Because Malachi opened last
That's right.
year.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and actually, to be honest with you, if I'm thinking now, go back about 3 years. Remember Bay lost two of the top 4 batsmen during that time too, I believe, through transfer. I can't remember, but it's something coming in my brain because they lost some early order batsmen a few years ago.
Right.
So just even saying that, or you have to depend on Steven and Rodney to be averaging 40.
I mean, you look at it, Rodney open.
Yeah, and he could. It's not like he used to.
He's taken a lot more pride in his batting.
Yeah.
And that has come around in leaps and bounds for him. I think
personally, to be honest with you, Earl, I believe it's a better spot for his
style of play. Yes, yeah.
Because he loves the ball coming on to.
Right.
And the good thing with Rodney, where a lot of openers were struggle, is Rodney can bat spin.
You got to know how to bat to what you build.
Right, which some have a hard time doing.
Yeah.
And I say that there because even if a team, well, let's look on the flip side. Let's take a team like Bailey's Bay. Bailey's Bay can open up with Seaman and open up with Derek Brangman.
Right.
Rangers will open up with Seaman, or they can open up with
Deion
Stubble. You know? St. Davis could open up with George or CJ, then open up with Delwan.
Yeah. Those are the game changers.
So,
because you don't want the ball coming on to, especially if guys are risky players and like that ball coming on to them, you gotta give them something different.
Yeah. So
force them to knock the ball around.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next game because I'm like I said, I'm concerned.
Talking about Western Stars.
Yeah.
They got to travel to Lords.
They got to travel to Lords.
And you're concerned?
How many is traveling?
Oh, they haven't had a problem with getting players, you know. The problem is making runs.
Well, the players that they got is, if they're not over close to 50, they're close to 20.
Yeah, there's no in between for that team. No. Well, unfortunately, that's how it is right now.
And that's my concern.
Yeah.
And that's my concern.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. But St. David's, even though they're 3-0,
haven't been that convincing, though.
You're playing your coach.
Yeah. But St.
What is that telling you?
Yeah, the smart thing for St. David's would be to win the toss and bat. Bat the 50 overs.
Of course.
Don't lose many wickets.
Get your points.
Get those bonus points needed. Get the batting point. Get all that you need.
Get your points.
Because if you look at it, teams haven't been able to get extra points off of Stars because...
Just think about it, though. Just think about it. St. David's gets 2 more victories, you could pretty much wrap the league up.
Yeah.
If they get maximum points on 2 victories, I think it's 3 mathematically they will be close to everybody else.
Right. Well, the only concern is St. George's, who's 3-0 as well.
Which would be, I believe, next week.
Right. Could you imagine if when we talk about that game, St. George's and Rangers, if St. George's win, that game next week
it's for the league.
It's for the league, yeah.
Already?
Yeah. Yeah, realistically, it's for the league.
In June.
Yeah. Wow.
In June.
It'll be Connie Cup over there. But if you look at St. David's right now need a confidence booster. They're playing the 3-0, like you said, but it hasn't been as convincing as they would like it. They're playing the coach. Come Sunday, they're gonna want to make a statement.
The good thing with teams like St. David's, Bailey's Bay, Flats, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
County's not far away.
No.
So even if they struggled with the numbers prior to this weekend,
now's the time for guys to start
you're
seeing
gonna start seeing guys coming, because obviously County Cup, especially Eastern County Cup, holds a special place in all of their hearts.
Oh yeah.
And some who they will never play cup match, so this is their cup match.
Yeah, so true.
Some will never play national team, so this is
The national.
like the league is basically batting practice or bowling practice for their county.
For their biggest game.
So even for the fringe players who are trying to get into Eastern County,
Yes.
right? They want to be seen in a good light, and that's the thing with somebody like Brian Hall.
But he's got to wait 2 years.
But that's what I'm saying. But you still got to put yourself there.
Yeah.
You still got to put yourself there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because, I mean, just think of the players who have left, let's say, left Bay.
Yeah.
Per se. Let's take Malachi and Trey.
Yeah.
You got to put yourself.
But Trey could play.
No, okay, right, and Malachi.
Because they both lived in the
Right.
area. Yes.
But if you get off to a bad start, do I bring you back to play Connie? And we know what you see where all these.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
We know clubs will probably take the. We know the politics when it comes to.
Well, to be honest, if I were mind you, we sit in a different position. But if I'm holding the cup, I'm taking the most level-headed person I can take.
Oh, of course.
And I got to take Trey.
Of course.
Yeah.
But Trey is.
Because if he can get amongst the runs, he could occupy the wicket for a very long time.
He's one of those guys we talked about who can bet time.
Yeah.
Which is needed in this game.
Yeah. 65 overs. If Bayes got to bet 65, hey.
Put it this way, Earl Basin. If it comes down between Trey Manders playing and Irvin Remain playing,
I don't want to be the selector.
I know what the coach is gonna say.
Yeah.
Hurry up and bring your gear.
Yeah. And the coach's name is?
Irvin Remain.
Sure.
Let's go to that. Let's go to the game that we like I said, it has some meaning to it.
Yeah. St. George's are at home to Southampton Rangers. Rangers are coming off a victory, two victories over the weekend. Big one up Somerset. Didn't get as many runs, but batted to 50 overs. 191 for 8. And then bowled Somerset out. Old man Vernon, 5 wickets. So, he's still putting in the time. Dion Stovall getting a century. Timely, So it's important that
Gennaro Tucker playing his first game.
First game, yeah.
He didn't play both games. Playing his first game. Remember, he come off an injury that he picked up when he was
Hopefully he's able to get over the soreness or whatever it was he would have experienced the next day to play, because you want to see the best players playing the game. So, St. George's has been on a pretty good run, even from the Open Cricket now to the 50-over league. Getting runs at the top order, getting wickets early. So, it should be a good encounter at Wellington Oval.
Okay, so they call me special. So let's give you a special scenario.
Okay.
Since you're St. George's guy.
Okay.
And some may feel that maybe we might be talking about this a little bit too early. But nothing's too early when it comes to St. George's Cup match team. We know there's been quite a bit of banter.
Sure, always is.
Especially if St. George's making 5 changes over the last 3 to 4 years. One of the family names that always comes up in banter would be the Bascoms. And this high-profile game this week will help solidify what guys can do on a big day.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that comes into the conversation of what these players can do on a big day with a high-pressure game.
And this will be one of the first big tests.
after this, basically next 2 weeks, it will be for the Bascom brothers who shows up.
Yeah.
Because that will help their case against any naysayers.
Right.
For this year.
Because all of them have gotten off to a good start. Anias Berlin.
They've had a game here or there.
Anias got 10 wickets in 2 games.
Yeah, but he hasn't done really not much of the bet.
No. But I'm saying
the first game he made.
The first game he made runs.
First game he made runs.
But
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's and then the opposition was in there. So.
Hey, but you got to make your runs.
I understand that, but remember, Rodney made runs when he was overseas last year. And
right.
Remember that was last year, the year before when they did take him.
Right.
It was predicated. They said it was predicated on the runs
he made. Right.
So then people question the competition.
Right.
What I'm saying now that you're gonna be at the club playing Rangers, who should be bringing down quite a decent squad to give them some good competition. You would think Rangers will be favored. But this year, you're thinking St. George's may get a little bit closer.
I would still give, for the experienced team, I give the edge to Rangers coming in.
This is what I'm saying for the Bascom brothers. You're going to be highlighted, whether you like it or not, this week and next week. Because, remember, earlier, Runde, I think, play Eastern County for St. David's. So they could probably... But St. David's is not in the first round.
No.
Right. So this will be the 2
high-profile games.
Showcase games before before trials.
Yeah. Well, let's put it like this: next week, St. David's and Georgia, that's a cup match trial.
But you see what I'm saying? So like I said, these 2 weeks. That's why I say it feels like it's too early to talk about it, but it's really not because the public perception. If you walk around the grounds. You can hear for the Bascom brothers
and against,
and you hear them against. So they can only control what they do
on the field. Yeah.
And if they shine, then it will help their cause.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you look at it, the game could be changed by many people on Sunday on the Southampton side. You talk about Gennaro. You talk about DeYoung. You know, Ricardo hasn't had a bad year.
Nope.
He showed up every time they needed him.
Malachi and Shannon Rena up front.
Getting off to a blazing start, each game.
They made light work over last week.
Oh yeah. So, and then again we talk about the Bascoms. You talk about Freddie Gibbons.
And he's batting down the order.
Right. You talk about
Makai's been steady.
Right. And basically you look at Tomiko.
Tomiko's had a century this year. So the matchup, like I said, this is the game for me that I'm going to probably venture down to St. George's to take a look at, because I do want to see not just what these guys do in a pressure situation. I actually do want to see the first. Hopefully, I catch the Rangers opening pair.
Yeah.
But also, another person that's going to be on showcase too. One of the young bullets that Southampton Rangers picked up.
Charles Trott.
Yeah. So this is where he can make his case. Many thought that he should have made St. George's Cup match last year. Yeah. So going forward next week, we'll see the likes of CJ Otterbury.
Yep.
So, like I said, these 2 weeks, even though we're roughly 2 months away from Cup match, these next 2 weeks could probably solidify some of these guys who are on the fringe.
Either over the fence or out of the field.
Yeah. And I can tell you, Earl, if they don't perform, I'm going to tell you, if they don't
out
perform.
Out of the field.
It's
going to be hard looking back in.
Put it this way, if they do get in, boy, it's going to be some rumble.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they wouldn't have helped their case.
Right.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Braxton Stowe Jr.
Yes, right, because I played with Senior.
Yeah, what?
Remember, he be playing for Walk Tall. Come on now.
That's right.
Think about it.
Yeah. He and his St. Louis University men's baseball teammates will travel to Ole Miss in a playoff in NCAA Division baseball. Got a chance to speak with him about his season and what they're looking forward to come the playoffs and, his future in baseball. So let's get the interview with
Braxton Stowe, you've had a relatively good season with St. Louis University. You started off the season on the injured list. You come back, you get some time at bat, home run. But let's go through your season thus far, and obviously we want to talk about going to the championships.
Yeah, it's been a good season for me personally, going through what I went through my past with the knee injuries and the multiple surgeries I've had. So this year has been a real good bounce back year for myself, getting healthy and getting some playing time here and there. Of course, when I was injured, they had to find somebody to, obviously play as I'm injured. So that guy, he earned his spot and everything like that. So what I'm doing now is just working to get stronger, healthier, and hearing my skills in for next year. So that's what will be mine next year because that guy's a senior now, so he's going to graduate. But for me personally, this year's been great. Got my first home run out the way, got a couple of hits in here and there, played the field defensively. So it's been a great year for myself and also for my team. Winning the A-10 championship this past weekend, we won 3 straight, and we beat George Mason there in the finals. And our second game was a real close game. We won in, I believe, the 13th inning on a walk-off double. So it's just been a great year for the team, winning the championship, coming first place in our division. And now we're set and ready to go to Mississippi to play Ole Miss in the regionals.
What was the draw like? I know the team got together to watch the draw on ESPN, but what was the emotion like as that draw was being made?
It was great. It was the first time a lot of us has been a part of watching the draw on on ESPN, and everybody was like kind of nervous, but not sure why we're nervous. We were just trying to see where we're going, and obviously the night before and days before, we're looking on D1 baseball, seeing the projections and seeing where we're going and everything like that. But it was a great experience. Media people were there, local news, family, friends, everybody was there. So it was a great experience seeing what's going to take place coming up.
Once you get through all those playoffs, and hopefully you guys can be crowned champions, but once you get through that, what are some of the things you need to work on to prepare yourself to be ready for that starting position next season?
Main thing I need to work on is my mobility and just getting strength back in my right leg. Just work on becoming faster, being able to be more agile, and just work on hitting, fielding, just overall just be able to move quicker, faster, and more powerful as I'm working to get better for next year.
And I really want to talk to you about that, your first home run in the uniform. Do you remember the day, and you remember what type of pitch it was?
Yeah, it was great. It was, I believe it was a 2-2 count. I was battling off some breaking balls, some well-executed fastballs. But it was a 2-2 count. It was up in the air fastball, and I was just able to, turn, let the bat do the work, and was lucky enough to hit a home run. It was a great experience seeing guys in the dugout going crazy, and just great getting the call from my parents after the game. Everybody's happy, and I put it on Instagram. Everybody, was wishing me congratulations and everything like that. It was great.
All right, well, good luck in the upcoming games. We'll keep an eye on how you're making out, and hopefully you get a chance to get some at-bats and get some hits to help your team progress.
Yep, will do. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Jay, our men's Davis Cup team is not having a successful trip in Costa Rica, but they can pick some good things out of what they've been able to do so far. No, they haven't had the wins, but they've had the competition that they needed that will put them in a good stead. And especially young Trey Mallory picking up his first win in his first ever Davis Cup match. Got a chance to speak with Gavin Manders and David Thomas after their first match. Although they went down 2-1, it was all talking about what Trey Mallory was able to accomplish.
Evan, it was a very special day today with Trey winning. Your thoughts on him and beating your Bermuda record?
Today was a very special day for Bermuda Davis Cup history, and Trey in his debut match, having a victory not only on his debut match but also becoming the youngest player in Davis Cup history, breaking my record. When I was 17 in 2003, I believe. So even though it was a tough loss, and for me personally, it was very difficult to take a loss in a deciding doubles match for Bermuda tennis and a rebuilding stage that we're in. I think this is a very positive to have a young Trey Mallory who was able to come out and beat a veteran who is still actively playing. And, another special day for me being without my mom's here, and to watch him and help him break my own record. It was just a very emotional and beautiful day for Bermuda.
David Thomas, your match, tricky one, but take us through how you felt going to the match.
Like Gavin mentioned, it was a pretty tough day. Going in, I'm really proud of Trey to step into that spot and not only give a good account of himself, but to pull out a victory with it. Going into one singles is always pretty tough. These guys aren't slouches down there, and this guy, I believe, is ranked 1100, 1200 in the world. So going into that match, trying not to think about that, but I mean, it's obviously a really good tennis player. Try to put ourselves in a position to win in the singles. Wasn't able to do that on my side. And to have Gavin and Jensen, who have proved time and time again that they are up to the task, to come up just short, it makes for a very bittersweet day. But we're trying to be optimistic. Going through the rest of the week is only going to get tougher from here. Despite being in the developmental position we find ourselves in, I think that going forward we have a lot of positivity coming through. So happy for that.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, these are two veteran guys, number one and number two, talking about someone who is 17, the youngest Bermuda player.
But the great thing about this, right, that tennis community, especially these guys, they've watched Trey.
Yes, yeah.
From when he could basically pick up a ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting, and I'm just once again going off to the little side a bit. Because obviously I'm very proud of, watch my little gumbe there. But I'm very proud of Trey and the family. But let's go up to the side here. Trey has that talent, along with Daniel Phillips, I believe.
Yes, yes.
Right? That we have to recognize very early and send him.
Yes, yeah. But he's been abroad. And that's most of his teenage life.
And that's what's helped out with this situation. You can see that's why he's accelerated faster than a lot of guys in his age.
Right.
And this is what I'm saying. Like other sports, we could talk about Delray, we could talk about even the Dailies. To be around that competition
every week, day in, day out.
Once we have multiple players like that, we can go even to squash. We go all the elite athletes in each sport. What's the common denominator? Is that they're traveling.
Yes.
They're spending more time outside of the
Bermuda
island than actually inside of the island.
Yeah.
Right? So we can go Noah Brown, we can go Michael Franklin, we can go all the elite. This is what's happening. And I think the more we get more tennis players, because you will see a lot of times we wait for the college kid.
Yeah.
But what happens is that when, unfortunately, and as any college athlete, when you finish college, you almost have to direct your attention to your career.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
some stay focused on the sporting side, but majority.
Put it to the side. I've got my education out of this. Now I need to pay back some of that funding, and of course, and unfortunately, that's the way life is for any Bermuda athlete, especially if you come back. You know, if you don't go into the sport full time, then you're stuck working that regular job.
So all the hopes and aspiration of saying, okay, we're gonna get this elite athlete back from college to represent us, but then their focus has changed.
Yes, yes.
So I think we have to go take out the template of the Del Reys, you know, even Lalani Nisbet, you know, and we're seeing the options she's going to be presented with very shortly in her short.
Don't believe everything you read.
But when I say options, and I'm not talking about the actual things, is that she's excelling, or she has the opportunity to excel in 2 sports.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So she will have options come down the road.
Yeah.
Now, she's in school. So, you know, once again, my
The
point
opportunities
is,
are there.
the opportunities are there, but which path does she take?
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about as far as what we see sometimes come out of the daily. Some of these things are just non-stories.
Right.
We talk about, you know, other countries scouting.
Yeah.
Our talent, but that happens. That's life.
Yes, yeah.
That's life. That
If anybody sees a bit of talent somewhere,
I just, me personally, I'm more for the actual
athlete, yeah, definitely.
You know, and I don't care if an athlete that grew up with us and then decides to run for, let's say, China. For that day, I'm for China.
Yes, yeah, for that athlete.
For that athlete.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. We have some athletes who came up through our ranks, represented Bermuda at the youth level, and are now wearing other countries' colors. But we don't stop supporting that athlete, you know.
No.
Because remember that person has a place in our heart only because that's where they got started.
Now, when that athlete comes back and plays my home country, I want the athlete to do well,
Right.
but lose.
But yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, but I think once again, let's get back to the point. The point that I'm trying to make is that Trey has shown his maturity over the age that he's at.
Yes.
Far beyond his age.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm well. The good thing is he's come from a family who's been through this of somewhat. Obviously, his father played tennis,
Yeah.
college at Hill 9, been Bermuda's former number 1.
Yeah.
So, and then he's I believe is the president.
No, he's first vice president.
First, right? So the guidance is there. The guidance is there. I'm just hoping there are more little Treys.
Right.
And hopefully other parents who have kids who have some potential can see what happens with the support and the template that's set before.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. Well, good luck to the men's Davis Cup team as they continue. I think they have 2 more matches to be played. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully you can get one of those, if not both, and come back from a lesson learned trip. Now, before we go, you got anything?
Of course.
I know you. I know you, man. What you got?
That's a sport that we really don't talk too much. You cover it, but we haven't mentioned too much on our program here. And that's the Bermuda National Volleyball Squad.
Yes, men and women playing in the USA Volleyball Open Championships. Bit of a mixed tournament thus far. 3 games a day, winning 1, losing 2, winning 2, losing 1. The men and the women had flip-flop. The men advanced in the knockout stage. Unfortunately, the women lost a 3-game battle. But, for them, 2 young teams, learning curve.
And that's what sometimes we have to, once again, we got to highlight because, once upon a time, volleyball was pretty big.
Oh, yeah. And in its community, it is still big. Corporate wise, it's still there.
Right.
I know they're playing beach now.
Yep.
So moved into that part of the season, which actually gets a lot of people out. A lot of people like the beach volleyball. You know, it's fitness, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see how it goes.
And like I said, we're here to help. Number one, not only highlight our local sports, but also our local athletes.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can bring some new fans.
Sure.
To a sport that you normally don't go get.
That's right. So true. Well, folks, from Juggler, I'm Earl. Have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show.